Everyone thinks they know the story of the Garden of Eden. Adam, Eve, the serpent, the forbidden fruit, the fall of humanity. But what if I told you that at the heart of that paradise there was a dark secret, a hidden truth that the Bible for some reason never fully explained? Eden wasn't just a place of perfect innocence. It was a spiritual battlefield, a theater for a manipulation that transcends simple disobedience. What was really at stake on that fateful morning? Who was the serpent? Where did it come from? And why was its temptation so irresistible? Get ready to question everything you thought you knew about the lost paradise. Imagine Eden, not as just any garden, but as a miniature cosmos. Every leaf, every flower, every creature vibrating in perfect harmony with the voice of its creator. It was a place of unparalleled intimacy, where God walked with man in the cool of the day. Adam and Eve, naked and unashamed, not only lived in paradise, they were the crown of creation, the living representation of the divine image. Their purpose was simple: to love, to care for, and to enjoy perfect fellowship. But there was a shadow lurking, a malicious intelligence that had already fallen from the celestial heights. The serpent. Not a common crawling reptile, but a creature of cunning and mesmerizing beauty, a vehicle for the greatest architect of lies. Lucifer, once the brightest angel, now consumed by pride and envy, saw in Eden a chance to wound God through his most beloved creation. He didn't just want them to disobey, he wanted to distort them, to corrupt their perception of God, to stain their innocence. The conversation started subtly. Did God really say, "You must not eat from any tree in the garden"? The serpent sowed doubt, not a direct denial, but a distortion of the truth. It planted the seed of suspicion, of restriction, of deprivation. Eve, in her innocence, tried to correct, but it was already too late. The doubt had found fertile ground. "You certainly will not die," the serpent guaranteed, directly contradicting God's word. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. This was the real temptation, not the fruit itself, but the promise of divinity, of autonomy, of a knowledge they were not designed to possess on their own. It was the temptation to become equal to God instead of trusting Him. The fruit became the symbol of a choice. It wasn't just a fruit, it was the boundary between dependence and independence, between trust and self-sufficiency. Eve saw that the tree was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom. She didn't sin out of hunger, nor out of pure malice. She sinned out of a desire for knowledge and power, an echo of Lucifer's own sin of pride. And Adam, her companion who was with her, watched, perhaps in silence, and also ate. There was no surprise for him. There was a deliberate choice, an act of fatal solidarity. The moment the fruit touched their lips, Eden was broken. Their eyes were opened, but not to the promised divinity. They were open to shame, to fear, to guilt. They saw themselves as naked, not just physically, but spiritually. The perfect harmony with God was broken. The air, once pure, now carried the weight of shame. The voice of God, once welcoming, now echoed in the garden, and they hid. The dark secret of Eden is not that God hid something from them. It's that the serpent used the promise of knowledge to lead them away from true wisdom and intimacy with their Creator. Eden was the stage for the first great battle for the human soul, where a lie disguised itself as truth, and the pursuit of autonomy led to the loss of everything. The story of the Garden of Eden is more than a parable. It's a mirror that reflects our own daily struggles against temptation and the search for something more than what God offers us. If this narration made you see Eden with new eyes, subscribe to Bible Breakdown for more deep explorations of the Scriptures. Hit the like button and comment below. What part of the Eden story do you believe is the most overlooked or misunderstood? Your perspective is very important to us.